Morning, welcome back to SV Basing. I'll tell you what, this last week has been brutal. Wind, rain, just ugly. Typical winter in Seattle. Just those storms rolling in one after another, but look at this. Mother Nature has tossed us a little treat. I get 4 or 5 days of no rain. And look at the lake, it's just calm. I love it. That means I'm gonna get some serious work done. Down in the hole. So let's get to work. Wind's calm enough, I was able to get the sunshades back up. Drying the decks now. Oh, because it's nice to have dry decks. Because this is what happens this time of year in Seattle. Everything is just soaking wet. The dew every single night. Gotta get it dry. Okay, time to get in the hole. I put on my hat because not because I'm cold, because it works as a helmet. Keeps me from injuring myself while I'm in there. Works pretty good.
Just a tiny tuck down and around. We don't want to be that one guy on the side of the boat with the blade shooting up towards the top of the water, sorry, towards the sky.
Not gonna lie. The other day I spent a couple hours in this hole and I was sore the next day. I was sore for 3 days. So I'm looking forward to this. But it's gotta get done. Maybe I'll do little stretches before I jump in the hole. Probably not. Let's just get in here and get it done. Okay, let's take a look at what I'm going to be tackling today. I did a little epoxy work the other day. It's all cured. All the little holes and bits that I had done are smooth and ready to be sanded out. But before I do that, I'm going to start working on cleaning up this area right here. This deck needs to extend from here over to here. The pitch needs to travel downhill. This will be the high point here. It needs to travel down to here and then out here. So if any water ever gets into here, it's going to run straight out of the boat. I want to keep this area as dry as possible because this is where some of the linkage is. Linkage will be elevated up here, so it'll never be close to water, but I still don't want standing water in this area. So first thing I'm going to do is start cleaning up things. Like here's an old wood cleat, just epoxy to the bulkhead here. I want to get this off because what's the use? I mean, why not clean it up now before I seal this in here? Kind of clean up all these little edges and whatever this hole is up here, I have no idea. I want to fill this in because I want this to be a smooth transition across here. I don't want these areas where moisture or mold could collect. And just start cleaning up all this area so I could get this deck in. This little tab was tabbed into the hole and up over the top here, but it's got a little delam right here. So I've cut it back even with the rest of this tab, and now I'll just remove this. There we go. Now I can clean that up. It's amazing how many fixes I come across on this boat where somebody just literally just dumped resin. It's not very strong, it's very brittle, and anytime I see it, I chisel it out. Okay, I have to make a pretty big cut here. In order to get this deck to pitch downhill here, this is what I need to do. This is a very jagged cut anyway, and that'll pitch it down nicely. Just trying to get any loose epoxy chunks off this back wall. So I'm going to clean this up next. I'm going to sand all this out, kind of vacuum everything up, see where I stand, because I want to be able to cut this deck in next. After I clean up, I'll get some hard measurements. Take a little break here. Lynn's going to relieve me for a few minutes and clean up my mess. Actually, hand me all that scraps that are in there. Okay, you see all those little scraps down there?
Yeah.
Hand me those first, and then I'll hit the vacuum. Okay, thank you. Ready?
Yep.
Documenting.
It's clean.
Thank you. So clean in here now. It's nice. For up to Lynn, she'd be down here doing all this. She has no problem grabbing a sander or a saw and just getting down and dusty. She's pretty awesome. What are you doing up there?
Hi.
Are you just watching me?
Huh?
Oh, hang on. Scared me.
Hi.
Oh, hey, can you grab me the detail sander?
Yeah.
It's right there in the cockpit.
Okay. This thing?
That's it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Hi.
Emma! Emma!
Yeah.
Emma!
Yeah.
Come here.
Hi.
Okay, can you grab me another tool?
Sure.
Grab me. Let's see, it's on a drill. It's a little drum sander on the drill. It should be sitting over in the exterior galley in the cockpit there.
Yeah.
Look around. Do you see a drill?
This?
That's it. Hand me that. And then,
Okay.
here, take this too. I'm getting too many tools down here. I'm done with this one.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
She's awesome. Okay, I think I'm about ready. Lynn's mixing me up some epoxy. Oh, here she is.
Ready for me?
Yeah, I'm ready.
I almost fell in.
Do not fall in.
Starting to get cold.
That's why I want to get this in. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
I might need a little more. I'll let you know.
I'll be on standby.
Okay, what I'm going to do, since I'm going to be working on this deck piece tomorrow, to mount a little cleat here. This won't add much strength to this. It's just going to hold it while I'm getting it all glassed in place. And I make this out of, this is just that foam fill PVC, ultra lightweight. Epoxy sticks to it nicely. So I'm going to go through and fill some more stuff. Little dings and gouges, couple more little pieces here, another little hole here. At the end of each day, just a little bit more. Ooh, I want to fill this today too. Just gonna put a nice bead of thickened epoxy on here. Doesn't need much. Just about like that. And this cleat is just going to help me out a little tomorrow. So this is the first thing I wanted to do. Make sure I got this in today. There we go. I took that wood cleat off this back wall here. I want to make sure that I get some epoxy on here in case I gouged that bulkhead. Plus it'll smooth it out. Just little by little, this little room is going to get smoother and smoother. Now let's take a look at this. I'm going to start doing this bulkhead soon too. Start smoothing this out. Every day, just a little more. I feel like Bob Ross, painting a picture. Okay, I'll just stay at it. Once I get this wall on right here, I'm going to be running glass cloth over this whole thing and tying it all the way down over this bulkhead. But the tabs that were tabbing this to the walls were drastic. I've tapered them slightly, and that's why I'm using epoxy, just to fair it. And every day, I'm getting a little smoother. I'll sand this out again and fill it in, and eventually this will be somewhat smooth coming across here. So when I start laying the glass cloth on, I don't have these radical ridges to work with. After the glass cloth, then I'll fair it. But you can see where I've tapered this down. It's getting there. Definitely starting to smooth out. Lynn's just mixing me up a little epoxy with a white pigment to fill this groove right here. I don't need the white pigment because I'm going to be wrapping this with glass cloth, but I figured since this had white pigment, I might as well just finish it off.
You ready?
I'm ready.
I don't know if it's white enough, but...
Well, it doesn't even need to be pigmented, but I thought I might as well since we have it.
It's so dirty. Sticky.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
why it cleans up your cards at the end of the day. If we reuse that one. Okay, I think it's time to get out of here. And hit it again tomorrow.
You guys, today is unbelievably warm. It is 20 degrees above normal temperatures here. It's not raining. It's just absolutely spectacular. We can't complain. And it gives us an opportunity to work in our sugar scoops without worrying about rain or
Putting extra heat in here.
yeah, putting extra heat. We had tried to figure out how to get some heat in here to get everything to kick, and we don't have to.
No, I'm only wearing long sleeves so I don't get itchy. I'm sweating in this. It's nice. Look at the lake. Look at this. It's beautiful.
Well, the only thing is there's no wind, so these
I'll
sailboats
take it.
are not going anywhere.
Take it today.
But it's pretty spectacular. Let's get cleaned up and
Enjoy
call it
the
a day. Yeah, we don't do that very often.
Sounds good to me. There we go. I'm shutting her down. Oh,
You're showing your age.
I am, aren't I? I gotta stop grunting when I stand up.
It's a gorgeous day, and I decided that even though it's kind of chilly out still, we're gonna have breakfast outside. Emma's already had breakfast, so it's just gonna be Teal and I hope I can convince him to just take a little break and get some nourishment in him. So let's go see what the captain's up to. God, this is gorgeous. I cannot believe we are in January. Lake's calm, nice and dry. And Teal has already gotten started. And here.
Oh,
Good morning.
Oh, good. Take these.
Hey, I had breakfast
Okay.
and fresh coffee.
Love it.
You take a break?
I will. Everything kicked. Looks good. Oh, breakfast was good. Made me tired though. Get to sleep in here. But it's too nice out. Gotta get some work done. Okay, the epoxy work I did yesterday, it's looking pretty gnarly looking here, but believe it or not, this is, I mean, it's getting smoother and smoother every day. Everything's cured. So let's work on, what I'll do first is just touch sand everything I epoxied yesterday, and then I'm gonna get some hard measurements off this 90-core panel I'm gonna be inserting in here. And let's do that first. I'm also gonna cut a little 90-core panel for up here that'll insert into here to flatten this out. So let's get to sanding. Everything feels real smooth. Let's get some measurements for this piece of 90-core I have to cut. I'm going to use a honeycomb structural panel to fill that in, and that's what this entire boat's made out of. The hull. There's a couple of bulkheads like this right here that may have some wood in it, but for the most part, we are the majority honeycomb composites. There's multiple trade names for this. I've got some scraps right here. This is Canacore, Nidacore. Here's Nidacore that's already pre-laid up with an epoxy top coat. But I mostly get it raw like this. Here's some that have a carbon fiber inlay in it. All of them have this polypropylene honeycomb core, and they're just lightweight. I mean, these weigh nothing. It's amazing how light these are for the strength you get when you're done. I have to lay up 1/2 inch in there. I've got some 1/2 inch right here that's raw, but I have this piece right here I'll use. It'll save me some time because it's already pre-laid up. So let's cut that one first. I had to tilt this back 5 degrees for the pitch of the hole there. Okay, let's take a look at how this fits in here now. Looks pretty good. I want to make sure it's pitched correctly. I want water to be able to run out if it gets in here. Nicely there. And then the other way is this way. Ooh. Okay. Everything's looking good. Let's get this epoxied in. I've been through my little spacer up here, so I'm not just burying a cup of epoxy in here. I just have a little bit now to get that to fair and smooth. Then cloth goes over this whole thing. But it's getting cleaner every day. Okay, I just buttered up the perimeter of this with West System epoxy thickened with a Clydal silica. And if I get this in without making a mess here. Seat in there. Now I'll be able to fair the perimeter and let this cure overnight. Looks good. Put my 1 inch radius in all the corners. Okay, let's see where we stand here. This piece is all laminated in, faired around the edges. I've got my filler piece up here, laminated in and faired around the edges. Starting to clean up here. I'm not going to treat this end grain of this Nidacore yet. I'm going to wait for it to kick, and then I'll be able to crush this back a little bit. When I put this wall down, I'll be able to put a light layer of filler in here, then layer it over with glass. But as I always do at the end of each day, start picking some bad spots and get rid of some of these bumps and ridges. Okay, I'm feeling pretty good. This bulkhead's starting to smooth out. Boy, there's some pretty gnarly tabs that were tabbing that bulkhead to the wall, and that's what I'm working on now, getting those smoothed out. I just want everything to be smooth enough to jump down here barefoot and be comfortable. Anyway, let this fire off tonight. Still quite a nice day out here. Suppose I could go jump in the other hull and start working on that sugar scoop, or do I enjoy the day? Where's the sun at? I got a little time left. think I'll go prep that other sugar scoop. Starting to fall behind on that side. Okay, thanks for watching the video. You know what? I'm gonna be honest, I'm a little humbled. I'm humbled that our story, that us sharing our story with you, that you find it interesting enough to follow our channel. You know, we've met a ton of real interesting people with a lot of great ideas. Keep those coming in the comments because I read every single one and I'm learning every day. I especially want to thank our patrons. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much, and let's get back to work. I'm just kidding. See you next week.